Okay.
Awesome. Good morning, my beautiful, wonderful Ndeje Mono people, the children of my ancestors, the descendants of my ancestors. Welcome to the program. Welcome, welcome. We're absolutely happy to have you here today, which is July the 12th of 2025. Please, as usual, please help us to share, like, subscribe, more nege call around. Our goal is that as we send you this information, even if you're not doing anything with it, send it to other people. We are looking for people that will join in what we are doing. Some of you may feel defeated. Share the information. Share, 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 share. I know that our people like to be jealous of each other. They think when they share, you will become famous, and they will not be famous. And what we're telling you is that we are in a dire situation. Things are happening every day, like with or without you. They're happening every day. So put your feelings aside, set them to the corner. Our children's future is at risk. So get over yourself. My sister will say, Monaji, it's not about you. Get over yourself. It's not about you. We want to set a stage for our children to live life and live life abundantly. Welcome once again. My name is Mona Saga, and I am here in Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much, my sister Mona Chimsaga. Of course, my name is Epi. Eputos na Madi Begi. Eputos na Ndi Igbo. Eputos na Ndi Africa. Eputos na Ndi Madu. So we want to remind our viewers, in case you're seeing this video for the first time, that this platform, it's a community of truth and common sense. People that are seeking truth and people that want to critically think, not just swallow what anybody says. And we have a campaign that we are running, and that campaign is to end oppression in Nigeria. Of course, Nigeria, Africa, and then the world, but locally to end oppression in Nigeria. And this campaign is different and parallel to the campaign to choose a new head slave, because Nigerian president is head slave. That position, the entire Nigeria is slave camp. The president is the head slave. So that is not, we are not interested in that. So the indigenous peoples want to end this Fulani British neo-colonial project, while the puppet politicians and the colonial religious leaders want to preserve it. And we are not doing that. We don't want to do that because, like my sister said, it's about the future of our children. So please join us in this community. We are begging you, subscribe. Subscribe. If you love humanity, if you love, if you love happiness, if you want to see people live the life, like live like human beings, especially if you are living abroad and you have seen how human beings should live, please subscribe to our YouTube. Like, hit the notification button, hit the one that says all, so that you will see all our videos. It's about mind change. We need to decolonize our minds before we can decolonize our existence. So it's important. This campaign is important, and we are asking you to join. Join, please, so that we can get this thing going. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wanyoma. All right, I will play the video so that we can get the chance to share with the others, and we'll be back in a few. All right. All right. Thank you. Please continue to share as you listen. Um, our show is well loaded today. We have a lot of surprising information for especially those running campaign against the freedom of our people. We're saying that our people deserves better, and they are saying no. We want to be governor. We want to be president. We can fix Nigeria in 1 week, and we have evidence of what they've been saying all along. Anyways, it goes with the topic today, NAIRA, which stands for Never Allow Igbo to Rule Again. We know that Nigeria was never meant to serve us, it was engineered for the British control. It's not a country born of unity, but rather of disunity. It was a result of a colonial experiment designed by the so-called Mr. Lord Lugard in 1914, not just to empower our people, but just to streamline British administrative control and economic exploitation. It was a forced amalgamation of vastly different peoples, languages, and civilization into a single unit. In fact, Nigeria was created just for imperial convenience. It was never about the indigenous progress. So the consequences of that experiment still haunts us today. Even our currency, the so-called NAIRA that we have been using, has become a cruel of symbolic systemic exclusion that is definitely against my people, the Igbos. Therefore, it stands for Never Allow Igbo to Rule Again. This phrase was born from pain and widely echoed in Nigeria. It reflects a truth many refuse to confront. We know that the Igbos had been politically sidelined and systematically excluded from leadership since the end of the Biafran War. In fact, Nigeria never healed after the war. We were told no victor, no vanquish, but what follows was anything but unity and reintegration. Rather, what we saw was economic strangulation through neglect and deliberate policies and processes. We also saw political exclusion, especially from the presidency. We saw erasure of our history and mockery of our Biafran memory. We saw ongoing marginalization of infrastructure, appointments, and opportunities. So we know this is not a federation. Rather, it's a state of cohesion held together by oil, wealth, and violence, not by vision or justice. So, our people, our Igbo people especially, we know that we have the capacity to stand alone. Despite the hardship and the shared hatred, our people are still thriving in spite of hostility. In the midst of the wickedness of Nigeria, we build without federal support. We lead in trade, innovation, education, and enterprise. We produce world-class entrepreneurs, engineers, doctors, and scholars. We are driven by the spirit of Indibo. We are resilient, we are industrious, and we are deeply communal. So I ask my people, why remain shackled to the system that sees our success as a threat? Why remain with a system that sought our demise? By the way, this is not about hate. It's not about war. This is about the dignity of my people. This is the destiny of our people and the freedom to choose our future. The dream of freedom is not a crime, we must say. It's not a treasonable offense to envision a future beyond the borders drawn by the colonial rulers. Every nation begins with discontent. We know about how India broke away from British Empire. We know how Eritrea succeeded from Ethiopia. So these things has been done. Why are we still waiting for Nigeria to give us freedom? So we don't seek vengeance. We seek self-determination. We are not preaching hate. We preach the right to exist with dignity on our own terms. It's time to build something that is truly ours. Nigeria is a British relic, a relic that belongs in museum, not around the neck of vibrant people like my people. If our sovereignty is retrieved, my people, we can envision a nation or confederation of southern people that is democratically governed, that is economically visionary, that is culturally rooted, and spiritually grounded. It may not be perfect, but it's ours. Nigeria was never meant to be one. It was never truly meant to be to serve our purposes. Unity without justice is just a tyranny by another name. One Nigeria is not a call for harmony, it's a slogan used to silence dissent. But we will not be silent anymore. We are demanding loyalty that offers protection to our people, that offers equity to our people, that offers something that we can look forward to and live for our children. We are not running. We are not afraid. We are moving forward towards our destiny, and we are doing so unapologetically. Thank you. I will pull up the video while my sister add.
Thank you, my sister. Before the video, we'll look at some pictures, right?
Here's some pictures.
Um, if people are following news, you remember that on the 25th of March, this March that just passed, they called it in the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery and Transatlantic Slave Trade. And that's not the news. The theme for that program, it says, acknowledge the past, repair the present, build a future of dignity and justice. I'll take it again. Acknowledge the past, repair the present, build a future of dignity and justice. Nadia, that's the next slide. The remembrance, the theme for the program. Means that for you to want, if you want a future of dignity and justice, like my sister just said at the introduction, you must acknowledge the past. Sweeping it under the rug, pretending like you don't know, you're wasting your time. Because it's only when you acknowledge the past, you will sincerely begin to repair the present. That's only when you are really serious about building a future that has dignity and justice. Otherwise, you're just playing games. We call it elite game. So where we are now in Nigeria, you saw how my sister broke down everything. It's not about Igbo being in Aso Rock or what. That is not our concern. Our concern is ending this oppression, ending this British Fulani slave camp, open prison, open air prison, so that we can live with dignity as human beings. So we must acknowledge the past. We don't have choice here.
They don't have a choice. They
Mm-mm.
don't. Not at all.
Because you can't repair the present or build any future that has sense if you refuse to acknowledge the past. Because the past will continue to haunt you, haunt your children, haunt your grandchildren, and there's nothing you can do about it because you have failed to do the right thing. So today in the show, please continue to share, like, and subscribe because we want to look at the historical concepts of Biafran genocide. We are not going to exhaust it. No, 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 no. We can't exhaust it. It's just scratch the surface. Then you go and ask Google, like we say, ask Google. Anything you want to ask Google. Google will be your friend. And from Google, you now start going for other places because Google will give you some idea on where else to search. We want to look at what our people think, want to hear, want to, this is an interactive show. So you can call in. We have our number that is going, you can see it under our show. It's running round and the number is there. We can also send you a link to come in. And through the week, send us texts. People are sending us texts, making comments, some of which we will review also today. And then as the show is going on, you're typing comments. Even after the show, you're typing comments because it's conversation. Like we said, this platform is for critical thinking. We want to have conversation. Want to debate, want to have constructive debate, not abusing people, spreading lies and hate. No, 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 no. It's none of those. We are adults, so we can have meaningful conversation so that we can fix our present, repair our present. So we said we want to know, ask what our people think, the victims, the survivors of this genocide that people don't want to discuss. Have they forgotten? Have they forgotten how they were massacred? Have they forgotten how the heads of their husbands were put in bowl and given to them? Have they forgotten how their pregnant women were sliced open and their babies sliced like okra? Have they forgotten? Have they forgotten the pain? Have they forgotten the sorrow? Have they forgotten the trauma of hunger and lack? Have they forgotten? Have they healed? Are they healing? Where are they? What do they think? What is going on? My sister also spoke about our resilience, how we have made it without the help of so-called Nigeria. How, as a people, we rose from the ashes of despair. My sister broke it down. For those that are joining us now, please go back to that intro. She put it line by line so that anybody can understand what is being discussed here today. How did we survive this terrible setback as a people? Have we even survived?
Hmm.
Because we all ran out from the land of oppression, the land that eats the flesh of inhabitants. We ran out. That's why outside Nigeria, if you see 10 Nigerians, Ndi Igbo will be 9.
Mm-hmm.
So we have not even survived. We are managing to thrive in the face of oppression. Our resilience and economic power need to be studied by other humans, not for you to be envious or for you to show jealousy. Well, it's on your own. If na envy, now you sabi, you want jealous, now you sabi, you no consign us because we are moving ahead. We are asking a question. Is Nigeria, Africa thriving in the face of these setbacks? Transatlantic slave trade, trans-Sahara slave trade, colonialism, neocolonialism, genocide, crisis, war, exploitative capitalism. Why our people perish? You want to ask questions? Drop it in the comment section. Is Nigeria thriving? Why ensuring that Ndi Igbo do not rise? Oji onye na ana ji onwe ya. You're trying to hold Ndi Igbo down, but Nigeria, you're holding yourself because you are not going anywhere. Why you still try to suppress Ndi Igbo? We are not, remember, we are not asking to enter your coven head called Aso Rock. We are not interested in Aso Rock. The blood shed inside that Aso Rock, the demons living inside Aso Rock, because some of us are in touch with some people that have lived inside that Aso Rock. The demons living inside there is not what any right-thinking Igbo person wants to enter. So we are not interested in your Aso Rock. But we are saying, how far can you go, Nigeria, while trying to suppress Ndi Igbo? Remember, ethnic diversity is not tribalism, because I hear people on social media.
All the time.
All the time. Meanwhile, if you go to Europe, the so-called tribes are nations. Then you come to Africa, in your brainwashed, colonized brain. If I say I'm an Igbo woman, you say, she's tribalistic.
Mumu.
So ethnic diversity has never been a problem anywhere in the world, because God created us different and diverse. Even in my home, the children I have, they are diverse. They are nations. Each of them, their capacity and their ability and everything, what they bring to the table, I cannot even afford to marginalize any. And we want to allow all to thrive. That is what a right-thinking parent can do, should do. But it's not the case in Nigeria and some other places in the world where injustice thrives. So the problem is not ethnic diversity, because there's strength in diversity, if harnessed. The problem is ignoring injustice against a people while trying to uphold justice for your own people. That is what the problem is. The problem is allowing some people to embrace Sharia system that is exclusive to constitutionalism and democracy. We know the truth. We know that Sharia cannot coexist with democracy and freedom of human rights.
But yet,
Yet, some people want to embrace it and put it inside the secular system we had agreed to build in Nigeria. And some people think it's okay. And some people think that the best thing they want us to do is to go and campaign and look for who to replace Tinubu with. The problem is ignoring terrorism and state failure. In our face, we can see that Nigeria is a failed state, but you ignore it. You want to talk about this one, you want to talk about this one, gallivanting, distracting people from meaningful conversation. The problem is ignoring all constitutional grievances coming from every corner and thinking you will thrive as a nation. The problem is denying self-determination, denying this push for complete decolonization, the push that is being made by all the indigenous ethnic nations, saying that this yoke of neocolonialism and colonialism is too much. We want to bring it down. Denying them that right is what the problem is. My sister mentioned about the video that we want to play. We just gave you background info so that you can join in the conversation, because we want the debate to continue. We want the conversation to continue, but it has to be respectful. We don't, on this community, we don't allow people coming like just throwing words at people. No. Say your mind, but be honest, be sincere, be truthful, and let it be constructive. Before you say it, ask yourself, this I'm about to say, is it going to help us to resolve this crisis, these grievances? Because people are hurting. That's why you see people coming in Nigeria, like everybody is out to hit the other person, like mad people's house. The video we are playing is Book Launch on Biafra by Ofodile. The book reviewer was Professor Charles C. Soludo, the present governor of Anambra State, the one that wants to kill all the children that are inside the forest. After the politicians have sponsored them, prepared them, and pushed them inside the forest, now they want to kill them because that's what they've been doing. P2B did that. Soludo did that. The man in Imo State, the hopeless man in Imo State did that. They are doing that. It's normal. It's normal to these blood-sucking politicians. They did it with Boko Haram. They're doing it with Boko Haram. They're doing it with all the when they
It's
want.
always about getting rid of our children while they're safeguarding their own children.
Yes, they will take their own children to abroad, keep them there, safeguard them, put all the money there and keep them. Then fund our children as political thugs. And then when they are done, they slice them or unalive them so that their paymaster will tell them,
Well
Rankadede,
done.
you have done a good job. Now you are fit to become the president or become the governor or become the senator or become whatever it is they want to become. It is the blood of our children. It has to be the blood of our children. These blood suckers must suck the blood of our children for their political dreams and vision, which is why Goodluck said, I'm stepping down. My ambition, I will not use the blood of innocent Nigerians to achieve it. He stepped down. But these morons will not. So please calm down and help watch this video with us and look at the faces of the people in this video so that when we tell you that they know the truth, but they are greedy, selfish, wicked, and soulless, you will agree with us. Of course, if you don't want to agree, put your comments. Tell us what you think because here is evidence-based. When we tell you, we show you. Go ahead, my sister.
Of fragile state indices and the rankings of Nigeria, we have been coming back precipitously from number 54 in 2005, now to number 13. We are one of the countries under the red alert list. And so it hasn't worked. The concoction hasn't worked. The 36 state structure that we have today, Ofodile argues very forcefully that this current 36 structure is contrary to the instruments of surrender of Biafra, that there are three conditions that they agreed on the instruments of surrender, one of which was that the Biafrans accepted, said, we accept the current structure, which then was a 12-state
What the heck is going on?
Structure. And that B or C of it was that any future change must bring all Nigerians on the table to agree. And these were the things they signed at the instrument of surrender, but that the military unilaterally subsequently changed the structure without then the participation of the other side. And he argues that this is against the instrument of the surrender, and that no wonder the Southeast has been marginalized out of it, 5 states out of the others having 6 and 7, as the case may be. Now there is the issue of unitary fiscal federalism instead of the 1963 Republican Constitution on fiscal federalism. There is the expansive exclusive list and having overpowerful Abuja. The development process is a trickle down from Abuja to the rest instead of a bottom-up economic and development arrangement. The census and revenue allocation that disadvantages the Southeast. There is the citizenship question. The Igbos think they become visitors everywhere all over the country. When it is time for census, the Southeast complain that they are about the only ethnic group that have maybe a majority of their people living outside of their homeland.
By design.
And that during census, their populations are counted in the states where they live. Imagine a state, and then population becomes basis for sharing the oil money in Abuja. When it is time for that, you count them in there. You don't ask for state of origin in the census. But then, you use also the population to get the allocations. But when it is time to share anything else, you remind them that they don't belong here, as the case may be. So there have been issues about citizenship question, and so on and so forth. So, in other words, this system, it's not just the Southeast or the Igbos that complain. It has not worked for Nigeria. And my thesis is that even if any government, including this one, just have all the political appointments from one village, my thesis is that the life of the average person in that village will not change.
You said it, Saludo.
Just rewind it again, and think the other way. The last regime, we had an Ebele Azikiwe as president. We had secretary to government. We had minister of finance and coordinating minister on the economy. We had all of this deputy senate president, this, that, and so on and so forth. Most of the financial institutions headed by people from the Southeast. And yet, there is no motorable federal highway in Igbo land. This thing is an elite game, as far as I'm concerned. The issue of who and whatever and so on and so forth is not taking us anywhere.
Right.
And unless we get to the heart of it. So, it seems that there is a consensus today. There is a consensus. If you take it much broadly, the North, so-called North, if you calculate the number of years they were in power, but essentially, poverty is still predominantly a northern phenomenon. So, that you control this and a few billionaires are made here and there and so on and so forth means absolute nothing. The ordinary man in Nigeria has not benefited, is getting worse off by the current system that we have. But there is a consensus now on restructuring. And in that case, Fodile would argue that Biafra becomes a metaphor for agitation by oppressed people for justice, equity, and fairness. It hasn't worked for anybody. If you look at President Buhari recently said he also supports amendment of the Constitution or devolution. If you read the APC manifesto, it says, quote, as a change agent, APC intends to cleanse our closet to halt the dangerous drift of Nigeria to a failed state with a conscious plan for post-oil economy in Nigeria. To achieve this laudable program, APC government shall restructure the country, devolve power to the units, with the best practices of federalism and eliminate unintended paralysis of the center.
I don't know what this stupid.
End of quote.
Let me see if I can.
This is the government. As a change agent, APC intends to cleanse our closet to halt the dangerous drift of Nigeria to a failed state with a conscious plan for post-oil economy in Nigeria. To achieve this laudable program, APC government shall restructure the country, devolve power to the units with the best practices of federalism and eliminate unintended paralysis of the center. End of quote. This is the government in power that controls 23 states. This is the APC manifesto. So, and the Southern People's Assembly talk about the same thing. The Afenifere's position on the National Conference, if you read it, talks about the same thing. The National Conference report talks, supported by PDP, the same thing. So what is holding us? I must say the goal of this bit should be political stability and economic prosperity. In my view, a competitive federalism. We can write a book on this aspect of competitive federalism. Compared to the First Republic, when everybody had theirs, they had the resources, especially on revenue, fiscal federalism. We've argued before, leave everybody their own thing, let them pay taxes to the center. This umbilical cord where Abuja will set wage for everybody all over the country, and so on and so forth. It was for a time when oil money paid for it, not anymore. Even in the US, you may have read about the governor of Maine, that the wife of the governor had to take a job in a restaurant to augment their income. Because given the state of Maine, the salary of the governor was not enough for them to survive on. And the wife had to take a job in a restaurant. The governor of Maine's salary cannot be the same as the mayor of New York, and so on and so forth. But here we've done all of this. Abuja controls it. Anyway, that's for another day. But what is holding us now, what I call as matter arising, is that the devil is in the details. Let the debate begin. What exactly do we mean by restructuring? The National Conference report, for example, is a beginning. But in my view, doesn't go much. It talks about creating more states, which misses the point. It's still more of the same. We are saying the ones that you have are not viable. 20-something states today cannot pay salaries. So what are we talking about? Or should we go back to the EQMS constitution, the proposal of 6 zonal structure as the federating units? What model of federation? Should we use the UAE, United Arab Emirates system, or which one are we going? Let us get to work and begin to think. Some people propose, and I agree, that we need a new constitution negotiated by the people of Nigeria. And my thesis is that if this is the only achievement of President Buhari, he would be greatest statesman ever in the mold of Abraham Lincoln. But we need to get this done. That the people of Nigeria will have to get together and negotiate a new constitution for themselves. Second, or the third point, is leadership failure in Igbo land. It raises fundamental questions if you read Chude's book on the collapse of failure of leadership in Igbo land and the search for the new one, whatever. It's in that light it agitates your mind when we talk about the Igbo presidency. What does that actually mean? Is it to have somebody wearing a red cap in the villa, or what? If all that we say, even within the states, a governor is first his village, his local government, then his senatorial zone, so that he can be Ocholo Ozwa of his own local government or his village, and so on and so forth, then let the others care. Is that the kind of leadership we are talking about Nigeria, or in the new Biafra, as it were? And we have seen it, like I said, about people occupying offices and so on and so forth, and still nothing. So the question is this.
Funny enough, this guy is definitely talking about himself right now. He's like literally describing himself. He described exactly what he's going to do 4 years ago. And you can see that at the end of the day, they don't care about you. It has always been what they're going to get out of it, what they tend to do with the power, because it's always about power. It's never about our people. He said it. He said that politics is an elite game. So that means if you look at the process, if you look at the structure, you are nowhere in the process, like you are not accounted for. So Soludo can now finish his term as a, what is that called? Federal banking governor. And then he will become you're metered. You have to meet yourselves.
Yes, my dear. Yeah, governor of Central Bank of
Central
Nigeria.
Bank.
Yes.
Right. So now he became a governor, and now he wants to be a president. And our people, he said it. He told you that it's an a game. They don't care about the people. That even if you put all your brothers and sisters in all the big positions, you will never translate to any change in your life. It will never manifest in anything for the church people. It will never manifest in anything for you. nothing will be happening. You still be in the status quo. Nothing will change for you. The point that we're trying to make is that these people are part of that one Nigeria that was set up. So look at them as puppets. They are put in place to continue to keep you down where you are. They will come and speak the lingo that makes you feel like, oh, they're on your side. The process that is set up in Nigeria is never set up for you to move forward. It's set up to keep you down with the status quo, and nothing will change for you. And by the way, God is not coming. Nobody is coming to change it for you. The only way this whole thing will turn around is that if you retrieve your sovereignty back and go with the NINA's strategy that we have been proposing on this platform. I will allow my sister to add while I look for the next.
Well said, my sister. Let's summarize what Solude just said, because we're playing this video. The first part is what we played. We'll play the second part. And by the way, we've posted this video on our page, on our Facebook page. You can go there and watch it in whole after the show. So let's look at what Toludo was trying to say. Number one, he said failed state indices. They were looking at the failed state indices, and they said Nigeria is in red alert list. That is, Nigeria is a failed state. Of course, if Nigeria is a failed state, Igbo land is a failed entity also, because anything inside Nigeria, if Nigeria has failed, everything inside will fail. Benue State will fail. Yoruba land will fail. Hausa land will fail. Everywhere we fail. And Nigeria has now become the poverty capital of the world. That's the meaning of that. All the whole English, like my people. I remember when they said they are trying to do a campaign, like kind of to launch something, and everybody was calling money, money, money. And when they finished, somebody started speaking English. After speaking English, he said, "I will give moral support." Our ancient people, our ancestors, our fathers that didn't go to Western education say, "Nna, ego one ka moral support obodo." They had moral support. He said, okay, this thing they call moral support, how much is it? Because we're talking about the money that we want to use to work. All this English that you just spoke now, and you finish, you cap it as moral support. How much will it come in physical cash? So after all the English that Soludo just finished, Professor Soludo, yes, Professor. We told you people that all these people, professor, doctors, engineer, all this Western is just a title. It doesn't mean that the brain is functioning. It doesn't mean that they're sincere. It doesn't mean that they're truthful. It doesn't mean they're honest. It doesn't mean that they're noble people. It's just a title. You struggle, you get it. And we also have our own title, but we'll keep it under the table because it doesn't really make any difference. What does it mean when I'm carrying title up and down? My people cannot even eat. Meanwhile, the essence of going to school is to solve problem in the community. If we can solve problem, why are we carrying titles up and down? That's
Why
why
are you showcasing the title?
why are you suffocating the I'm doctor? You should be ashamed. If you say I'm doctor, I'm professor, you should be ashamed, because if the community is having somebody professor, doctor, yet problems cannot be solved, you should be hiding the certificate.
You should be in hiding, serious hiding.
That's why I see my brother Tony Nadi. He said, "Don't call me barrister, don't call me all those titles. Let's drop titles and discuss facts so that we can use our common sense to solve our problem like our ancestors did." So what Soludo was saying is that Nigeria is not, that after they massacred Ndibo, in the name of one Nigeria, our show last week, we told you how Onungo, or whatever he calls himself from Middle Belt, I think, said, "We killed millions of Ndibo for Nigeria. Is this what you're giving us to pay back?" We also heard about this Asari, the other one, that man that is that Buddha in somewhere in Nigeria, Nigerian Buddha, say, "Oh, we killed the people for one Nigeria. You are killing our people." So we hear them confess and all that. So after all that shenanigan and evilness and wickedness, Nigeria that they bide people to build is now the poverty capital of the world. Kupuru na aka. Kupuru the managers of Nigeria, and how manage go very wonderfully. Number two, the 1999 Constitution and the 36-state structure is contrary to the instrument of surrender of Biafra. For people that are wondering, why is this that people are holding our youths and people are holding on to this Biafra? Because that's all they know. They are holding on to it because they know that when our fathers surrendered, It was a conditional surrender. We did not surrender so that we now go back, because something led to the war, something led to the genocide. Our people did not die so that you will build a failed state. Our people wanted something, and they gave you a conditional surrender. He said, we are going to surrender if so, 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 and so happen. So the 1999 constitution you put in place is contrary to that instrument. The 36 states that you went and balkanized everywhere, you see two husband and wife inside one room. You divide them into two. Husband will join a Edo state. Wife will join a Delta state. We said that all those nonsense you people did is contrary to the instrument of surrender. Number three, military changed the structure of Nigeria without the participation of the indigenous peoples, because that's part of that surrender. They said, if you're going to change the structure, everybody must be on the table, because that's true federalism. Everybody must be on top of the table and they will discuss it. Military did not do that. They moved ahead because it's Fulani British military. They moved ahead to do whatever they said. We are telling you summary of what Soludo just said in his video, and we told that the video is posted. He said that they imposed unitary constitutional arrangement rather than true federalism or regional autonomy that was before Biafra genocide and the conquest, the so-called conquest. Yes, because you people conquered this, you're bragging that you conquered Biafra, because that's the only reason you impose Sharia. That's the only reason you impose the 1999 constitution that the people did not make, because it's a conquer. And that's the only reason you have military checkpoints everywhere in Igbo, is you conquered the land. Okay, we're saying that these things are contrary to the instrument of surrender of our fathers that fought the Biafra war, genocidal war. Number five, Soludo went ahead to say that the expansive exclusive list of 1999 constitution has a very powerful and oppressive Abuja character. So that means that Abuja that you people have built after massacring Biafra people, it's oppressive. That's all you ended. You ended up having poverty capital and then a very powerful and oppressive Aso
Hmm.
democracy. He went ahead to say another thing that has happened that made that Nigeria to die and become the poverty capital of the world is that economic development process trickles from top to bottom rather than building wealth from down to up. So it trickles from all, oppression. When they feel like, okay, you cry too much, they give you bread. Bagam. If you cry too much, they give you light of 1 hour in 1 week. If you cry too much, they give you water and say, take a cup. Before the cup is touching your mouth, they take it back and say, who do you think you are? Imagine you're drinking water. Don't you know you're a slave? Slaves do not have right to drink water. Another thing that Professor Soludo said, he said that the Nigerian citizenship is fake. There's no true Nigerian.
Hmm.
People are more aligned to their ethnic nationalism, ethnic nation. So what you have is ethnic nationalism. There's no citizen of Nigeria. Nigeria does not have citizenship, because that's why they buy you the way they buy you, because you're a slave, you're not a citizen. People are more, what you have is stronger ethnic nationalism. Soludo was breaking their reality. And if you look in the picture of the people that are inside there, I saw Obio Kwesileze, I saw Ihe Jiaka or whatever. I saw all these people that are running up and down, prum, 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 and telling you that they're Igbo politicians. All of them were there on Abanantiha. They were listening to everything. Another thing that Professor Soludo said in that their stupid book launch is that unfruitful book launch, because if you finish launching and you did not execute anything, it's useless. He said that resources from the indigenous peoples are used to sustain criminals at Abuja Federal House of Criminals. Yes, Aso Rock is Abuja Federal House of Criminals. Like you have House of Common in Britain, what you have is House of Criminals. That's what you have, that Aso Rock. So he said that it's the resources of the indigenous peoples that they are using to sustain those morons, those vagabonds, those efulef, those Itimpaka, those ndị otu Isiokpi. He also said that what we have, like my sister also mentioned, is elite game, not democracy. He agreed, they all agreed inside, and I did not see anybody that raised hand in that room amongst all those cows that gathered there as human beings. I did not see anyone that stood up and said, hey, what you're saying is not correct. That means na ha kwere ekwe, maka ndị be anyị so na ọ gbala nkịtị kwere ekwe. So they agreed that everything that was said was true. And then he now said, there is now a consensus on restructuring the country. So, in other words, constitutional reconstruction to promote justice, equity, and fairness. And we asked our people, so what is now missing? We will continue to play the video again. We'll play the part so that we'll now go back and ask ourselves, okay, you have a consensus that this thing is not working. We need to reconstruct it. Kedizi hai na agbagharịzi achụ ifi ndị Fulani. Let's listen to him.
At home. And even without anybody getting out or more in force and so on, I learned virtually Anambra and many other cities were completely shut down. It just tells you there is something going on. But, again, where is the elite in this? What is missing is structured debate and the apparent elite aloofness or complicity or hypocrisy. The elite in denial. For the politicians who think you can just, let's use them temporarily, let's use them, just go on, while we can then use that to negotiate for something here. I can tell you, you will create a monster that will consume you.
Yes, Soludo, you will.
When that inferno comes, both us, everybody else, and the kind of thing that happened in Biafra where any dissent was considered a saboteur. Okay? You might get to a point where you will be telling them, just go on, while we can negotiate here, get something for ourselves in Abuja. I can tell you, these guys are no fools. At some point, they will look at you too and know that you're actually part of the problem.
Including you. Yeah.
So on and so forth.
Including you, sir.
I say, let the debate must begin. The late Dr. Pius Okibo, in this book as well, presented what the memo by late Dr. Pius Okibo presented to the Biafran government on the economic viability of Biafra. Nobody is talking about what the currency will look like. How will you fare with international trade? What kind of constitution are you talking about? And Ofodile forcefully argues here that the NAIRA Declaration of 1969 came too late. They had intelligentsia pushing for Biafra, but there was no organized structure. That if they had done what they did towards the end of the war at the beginning, Biafra would not have ended the way that it did. But what is shocking is people talk about this in their bedrooms and in their parlors. And then you come out and everybody is just, and so on. I'm sure it will not take long. So what I am calling is that we must, the elite, the intelligentsia, get out of the closet and let us, now that the issue, the president in New York made a point. He said there will be no referendum in Biafra. Now, and I said, my reaction to it was, oh my God. So this matter has actually gotten to the point where we are now talking whether to have a referendum or not to have.
Okay. Has it finished?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So we can see, according to dear Professor Soludo, nwa gụrụ akwụkwọ gụrụ ya. So ọ gụrụ go up cha cha. gụgide gụọ nke ndị ọcha gụọ nke ndị gụchite nke ụmụnna ha niile, mana solvezikwanụ problem dị tebụl, a na-asụsụ oyibo, asụrụ gbago asụrụ gbada, asụrụ gaa west, asụrụ gaa west, a na-asụgheri. So he said, according to him, there is now consensus on restructuring the country. Like in the Bible, know who told you that when you hear restructuring, what you will hear is constitutional reconstruction. Yeah, akụtụsie ngwongwo niile a alụkasịrị, ebido from ani wee lụbịa, from foundation. Bụọkwa itinye window. It's not, we're not talking about painting window, painting door. No, that is not restructuring that we understand. What we're understanding is reconstruction. That is, you pull down this nonsense that you have been trying to manage that wants to collapse on somebody's head. Let's go back to the foundation. So he said, and the essence of that constitutional reconstruction is to promote justice, equity, and fairness for all, everyone, because all human beings matter. All lives are equal. Human life matters. You can see the massacre in Northwest, Northeast, Middle Belt, Yoruba land, everywhere blood is flowing.
And the church that's supposed to be worried about this
Yes,
is
you mean the
the-
colonial church,
oh
colonial
yes,
Christianity.
they
Yeah.
partner in
They
crime.
are the
Okay.
partners in crime because they've been working. Remember, we told the people on this platform that the missionaries are actually colonial foot soldiers, just like you have Fulani herdsmen coming in. The so-called missionaries that came from Europe and wherever they came from, they are actually foot soldiers for the colonial monsters, So that's why they gathered all the information. You people were even confessing some to some of them. If you have meeting on how to free your people, you go and confess to father, and then they'll gather all that information and send to their office. That's why you kept going in circles, because they thought that your enemy was your best friend, which our ancestors never did. And that's what we're saying. Please drop all those things that people are doing. We are done with your colonial Christianity. We are moving to more important things. Our spirituality is intact because our ancestors started worshiping God before the white man crept out of a hole cave to go and start doing whatever nonsense they're doing. So we know what we're talking about. And we want our people to critically think. So what is missing, according to Soludo, is the willingness by the colonial political class and the religious leaders, of course, the colonial religious leaders, to step aside so that the indigenous peoples will have meaningful and structured debates that will lead to complete decolonization and the restoration of sovereignty and self-determination to the indigenous ethnic nationalities. That is what is missing. Eba Kainos. My brother Obi Ukwama said, we have seen that Nigeria of their dreams did fail. And from conditions on the ground, Nigeria will always fail. Bagam.
Ozugbo, ozugbo.
Daalụ. Ikwuru ya. So the only solution now is a peaceful dissolution. Nudo, to your tents, O Israel. Ndị Nigeria, to your tents. Inwekwa tent, banya there. So that all the killings and injustice will be in the history books. Let's fix this thing. You know your father's land. You came from somewhere. For those of you that are orphans, some are orphans. We recognize that some are orphans. Some are abandoned children that were picked from the trash. Unfortunately, sorry, circumstance of life. But we pray, please, we are not talking to you. Because when we finish, you can be anywhere you want to be. But those that were not picked from the trash, those that were not abandoned inside trash by their parents, please, you came from somewhere. That ethnic nation you came from, dress back to them so that we can begin this conversation, so that it will be constructive. That's what I'm saying. So we are saying that these people, these your political criminals, this Efulefu, what is that big one with head like cow that calls himself Senate whatever? What is that one that is fighting with Natasha? I can't, Akpabio, Akpamo, or something like that. So these criminals know that Nina's template for self-determination is that counter narrative that will give us peace, that will give us justice, that will make people to stop dying. But what did they do? They chose to keep slaughtering our people and our youths for their selfish ambition. Yes, Good Luck said it. Because Good Luck knows that what they are doing is not politics, it's a game. And unfortunately, our youths have to pay. And then after all this is that Soludo knows.
Hmm. Criminals.
We are just sleeping, oh, by ourselves, so because after working so hard to gather all this information, when we have small time, we just say, let's put our head down. We saw something doing bam, 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 and they're sending us video. What we say, getting our fiokwa, getting our fiokwa. Then we saw the face of Soludo. He said, what did Soludo do again? What did he say? Lekwanu Soludo, also know Igbo. Also, criminals terrorizing Southeast are Igbos, not Fulani.
Hmm. So
RMS.
he can get his own cut.
Say gịnị? Inter-society jere mee research mechaa pụtasị na ndị na-egbu everywhere, all the land, south, north east, north west, middle belt, Yoruba, everybody shouting, Fulani, Fulani is in our forest killing us, so Fulani is in our forest killing us. So but Soludo, because he wants a re-election, he has to appease caliphate to tell them, your boy is doing a good job. He had to come and say, after they have finished funding our youths that are not into freedom fight,
Unbelievable.
because what they're doing is the political thugs. They did it in Northwest, they did it in Northeast. Boko Haram we know that it was set up by the political elite of the North. Is the same thing that the political Igbo politicians and their colonial church people, Anglican, Roman Catholic, Pentecostalism, Rastarism, all of them, they came together and sponsored some youths, political talks, and told them to be shouting is freedom, freedom. After they have done that to win election, just like Peter Obi did during his own time, and the Zoo River. Go and Google Peter Obi and the Zoo River. You will see what happened after that. It's what they have been doing. And these politicians have been confessing. Google, you see them confessing. This is what they do. After Toludo had finished doing that, he had to kill our people, our youths. And he has to justify that by coming to say what he said. He said that 99.9, our brother Okeke Tochukwu, he said that 99.9% of our arrested criminals, kidnappers, are Igbo youths, not Fulani headsmen. Soludo. So you were in that place calling yourself a governor, and all your children, all the youth, you didn't create job for them, and all of them became criminals and kidnappers. Soludo has succeeded. Yeah? So Soludo, you and your fellow governors turned our children into criminals and kidnappers. And you are coming to use microphone to say it to the hearing of our people. Isigbu onwe gị. Isigbu onwe gị. And why Soludo is doing that one? Peter Obi is asking, why are you holding Nnamdi Kanu? Bring up his picture, Biko. Why are you holding Nnamdi Kanu? Peter Obi jụrụ ajụjụ. He's asking a question. Because we have always known that they are the ones, like we said, the Igbo politicians, all of them, no one exempted, they are the ones that sponsor the terror that happened in Igbo land. We have
For their
evidence
political gain.
for their political gains. We have evidence. There's even one that we know when he said that he has ammunition that he will use. We know, we know. Just like Boko Haram, the northerners knew the people and all those people because they are their people. These people, the politicians and colonial church people, sponsored Nnamdi Kanu and all the people that are doing fake freedom. Send them into forest, gave them guns for their political gains, not for the freedom of the people. And we have been saying it. Remember that quote, signed, sealed, and delivered. Go and check it. Those that are honest to themselves. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Why didn't Nnamdi Kanu say signed, sealed, and delivered? What did he sign? What did he deliver? What did he sign? What did he deliver? Reno Mockery, of course, answered Peter Obi that is asking, what did Nnamdi Kanu do? Don't worry, Nigeria will tell you what he did. We are not here to tell you what Nnamdi Kanu did. Reno Mockery, the irritating cowhead. As irritating as he is, he has answered Peter Obi that is asking, but what did Nnamdi Kanu did? What did Nnamdi Kanu do? You don't know what he did. Why are they holding him? Okay, now you ask question. Don't worry. Nigeria will answer you. It's not me you asked. Now waiting consign me. Get here consign Abu and overload. Waiting consign vulture with Baba. You know ask me, not be me you ask. When you ask me, I will know what to tell you. But since it's not me you ask, no problem. Let the people that you ask answer you. Nigerians will answer you. Nigeria will answer you. And Tinubu will answer you, Peter Obi. And Peter Obi is pretending not to know Nnamdi Kanu's crimes. Really. So, if Nnamdi Kanu, according to you Igbo politicians, did not commit any crime, why then are you killing the people? Why are you killing Nnamdi Kanu's boys? The people him. Why are you killing the youths that are following Nnamdi Kanu, that are inside Anambra State and Imo State forests? Why are you killing them? Calling them kidnappers? Why is it that Finland is trying Simon Ekpa, the follower of Nnamdi Kanu, the person that Nnamdi Kanu handed over to as he went? Peter Obi, you don't know what Nnamdi Kanu did, right?
He was in Egypt trying to build electricity.
Okay, yes. Nnamdi Kanu was eating tiger nuts on attack Hausa. That's what he did. And God asked Peter Soludo. Right there, the next slide. Ask Soludo. Maybe Soludo knows. But I know that Nigerians will answer you. So, remember on this platform, when we are done, we tell you, we'll take you to where we're going. Because like we said, we are running campaign. We are here to run campaign. It's just that we'll tell you what the other if we are saying. And that's what we told you, that what we are doing is parallel to what they're doing. We are not on the same team. We are not waiting for Nigerian politicians to solve our problem. In what you hear Jikola and Nigerian politicians, we are light, they are darkness. We are day, they are night. They are death, we are life. So there's nothing combining us, that we are on our parallel, we are now going on our own. Just that from time to time, we will tell you what they say. Remember, this is a calling show. If you want to call, call. If you don't want to call, I will continue to talk. My sister will be talking because we are not waiting for anybody. Moto is not waiting. So if you want to talk, call in and talk. If you want a link, we send you a link. If you don't want to talk, we will continue to talk because that's what we came. I bụ ụmụada ndị ụmụada anyị na-eme meeting. So our brother Tony put up something. He said Peter Obi won the 2023 election with clear margin. We are not doubting it because we told him before he went. Nina's told Peter Obi before he went, you will win, but the Nigeria will not allow you. So Peter Obi won the election with clear margin, but Nigerians' constitution flipped the mandate over to Tinubu. Piam! Wired like this. With that constitution still in place, and the INEC, Supreme Court, and police firmly under the grip of the one who grabbed the 2023 mandate. You know, he said, run, grab it, snatch it, grab, run, snatch it, grab it. All the instruments to do any election is in the hands of Tinubu. So 2027 will be far worse. What is the way out? Transition for union reset. Simple, very simple. Mana ọ bụrụ na achọrọ ịnụ, ọkụkọ ntị ike na-ana n'ite ofe. Ask your Igbo neighbor to tell you what we talk. Ọkụkọ ntị ike na-ana n'ite ofe. So, NAIRA means never allow Igbo rule again. Don't even bring them where, don't bring Igbo people where they will be able to help us to fix this country, because we are not supposed to fix this country. This country is not meant to be fixed. It's a colonial entity and it's meant to buy all the Nigerians so that all their resources can go. It's for exploitative capitalism so that everything in the land can go to the West. That's why Nigeria was built. So don't bring Igbo man because they are Vasabi they too much. And when we talk of Igbo man, it's not P2B. P2B is Fulani agents. So it's not the Igbo we're talking about. We are saying that Naira means never allow Igbo rule again. They finished, they sealed it and signed and delivered it to themselves. So Igbo politicians, P2B, all of them, they know this truth. It is not hidden. So somebody says, so why then are they giving our ignorant youths? Why are they
Mm.
carrying them in a vicious circle like merry-go-round? Why? For their own benefit. Each time they run or be part of it, Nigeria gives them their own money and settles them.
It's
They
all
are
about
not
their
running to
own
win.
courts. Mhm.
Yeah?
As it's all
Yes.
about their own court. You didn't win when Tinubu was outside. Now you're giving our people hope you will win when Tinubu has confiscated everything for the election. Peter B, oh, I forgot, he's a saint from heaven. Oh, the God will do it for us. Mm-mm-mm. Go ahead, my sister.
My dear, they know the truth, but they are carrying our people round and round and round for their personal gains, for their own courts, so that they will give them when they do. You know, like we told you, both whether ADC, APC, PDP, PDAS, SASA, all of them are together. It's part of the game. It's a game they're playing. And when they finish, everybody will get their own cut. But who we buy is who we buy. That is you listening to us, you, the people. You are the one that we buy. So Nina said, amidst Fulani conquest killings and woeful failures of governance under Nigeria's unitary constitution, the two clear options now before Nigerians are: one, to push to 2027 elections and choose between APC and ADC, or as they come, any other name they come, coalition. That's one. The second option for you listening to us, you, our followers, you, members of this community, you, members of Nigeria, you that are in the public listening, the second option is to initiate immediate transition for total constitutional reconstruction. We said total, not amendment, total constructional reconstruction. You heard where Soludo said it. They know the truth. The elites know. Everybody, all of them, they know. The only one that are carrying is you, that you have refused to know the truth. My sister, do you want to go through this? Do you want to break this, please?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So there is because we told you that we are running a parallel campaign. We know Sendo. We know Sendo now. We know Sendo now, Papa. We know send the ABC, ADC, DDC. We know Sendo now. We are running our campaign. And in the days ahead, as we move, we'll be bringing in things. Because this platform will teach you, tell you what we are, where we're going, and what next, and all that. And we are moving, just like submarine. We are moving. So Nina's came out with this. It's just a summary of what we're saying, where we are, where we're going. He said choices from election 2027 under 1999 Constitution are devil's alternatives. Transition for union reset in place of election is the real alternative. Well, it's what we said now. We gave you the choices you have right now. Election under 1999 Constitution, which is devil's alternative. Because either way, you're still going to be inside the slave camp and
Mhm.
on daily basis. There's no other thing. Whether it's Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, Bababu, Mama Bu, whether it's anyone, Erufai, body bag government,
Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Allah.
who, whether it's Allah, Muhammad, Jesus, anyone, you are still inside that place. Your life will get worse as just like it has been going. Ask your fathers now. Those of you that are claiming to be youths, ask your father. This story, me, I watched the story every Christmas. We'll come back home. Even as a young person that was not part of the conversation, my family, because my father, my family, the educated one, so villagers will come around and they were giving them drink, annual or all those that are used to Christmas in Igbo land. All the specials,
Chin chin.
roasted yam, chin
They are
chin,
bring chin chin.
roasted yam, yes, mmanụ
Fine
na
wine, fine wine.
wine n'ụgba, mmanụ na ose na ụtazị, like
And
wonderful
Coke
time.
and Sprite for the kids.
Yes, yes. So they'll be on the table, everybody discussing, speaking English. And we passing because doing my chores. I'm like, why is it that every year these people will come and be discussing the same thing? On a change. I General Dogon Yaro, my father will put BBC. Like, why? So it has not changed. It's getting from worse to worse. When is Buhari say, oh, how I wish he was good luck. When is Tinubu say, oh, how I wish he was Buhari. When is it, oh, how I wish he was Yaradua. When is this one? Oh, I wish he was Abacha. Oh, how, that's the second. So if you look at the thing that is looking at you, he said the 1999 constitution. So in the middle, where we are, look down, you see the masses. Um, third quarter, fourth quarter 2025. The masses are in the middle, deciding, should I go left? Should I go right? Should I go left? Should I go right? Dilemma. Ebe ka m ga-eje? Ebe ka anyị ga-atụnye aka? Ebe selu gịnị? Ebe ka anyị ga-atụnye aka? Ebe selu gịnị? So left, on my left, because I'm seeing my left. I don't know if it's your left. You can see it marked.
The
Marked.
APC part.
Ndị ADC, ABC, ABC, ABCDDDD, ndị Ezikwe, because the names keep coming, AD, Kwekwe, CC, all that in that side with red arrow, taking you to election 2027 under the 1999 constitution.
Mhm.
The electoral reform, ndị Ocho. VDM, this is your pack of sheep you're carrying. We are not saying electoral reform. You people will be ignoring truth. And then you go to a middle belt and start crying that you cannot sleep. It's a lie. You can sleep. You're lying. If you can't sleep, go and take a gogoro, take a book, then you can sleep. Because you people are dishonest people. So PDP and others, 1999 Constitution, APC, 1999, all of them are holding on to 1999 Constitution. That colonial imposed military, Fulani, British, all this evil constitution, they're holding on to it. And under it, under the 1999 constitution, you will only have death, hunger, massacre, disappearance, traveling.
Going backwards.
Yes, traveling through the Mediterranean Sea, going to the dungeon, going through the desert, all this suffering. That's what you're going to get. When we are small, they used to tell us stories. Ifo, asị onye a wee bute udu wee kụwa dị udu, ihe nọ n'ime ewe akpị agwọ. Inside 1999 constitution is that udu ndị mmụọ. The only thing you will see inside is akpị agwọ agbakụrụ nwoke, all the animals that destroy people, reptiles. That's what you have in the political parties and all of them. But you have a choice. Your case is not hopeless. Thank God for Ninas. That's the right. You see, he marked good. Transition into federation or confederation or sovereign states entities. It will be your choice. You will get your sovereignty back. Then you will begin to live like people in America, people in UK, people in even India. India and Konya. Our people are now traveling abroad called India.
Hmm.
You will be living better than India. I'm telling you. Because you know you have the capacity. You're only being held down. The choice is yours. Today, you can make that choice today. You are the people. It's you that they carry. The politicians cannot do anything without you, people. They have to assemble you, gather you. But you can say no. But we're saying go back to your ethnic nationality. If you're Yoruba, go and start assembling your Yoruba people for this transition. If you are Igbo, go and start assembling your Igbo people. If you're Ijo, Ishekiri, the language that you speak, because we don't want our people to be marginalized anymore. All of you, you know a language. Gather the people that you speak it together. Because the conversation will start from the roots. We are not saying we're going to have 300 countries. That is childishness to even think, to say it. In Europe, did they end up having 300 countries?
Hmm.
They have United Kingdom. Is it 300 countries? They have a United Emirates. All the people that have done it before. Did it end up in 700 countries? Don't be stupid. I'm not allowing anybody to lead you in a stupid conversation. So, but you need to go. The basis of our conversation is for you to go back to your ethnic nation, then begin to gather from there so that we will have a structured debate, structured conversation. It's already ongoing. We're only inviting you to be part of it. Because anybody knows ofeke. If you are no fake, ofeke is somebody that is not informed. So in Igbo culture, we have people we call ofeke. If you're not informed about any issue, when you're talking, you'll be talking anyhow, you're ofeke. So you will know when they say this is what we're going to do, and we don't want that to happen to you. So that's why we come here to educate you so that you understand what is going on. So we're not waiting for you actually. It's ongoing. Like we said, it's a campaign. We are moving on. And the consensus is enlarging. And we're going where we're going because it's a parallel journey. So we can see what we showed you here, whether ADC or APC, they are upholding the 1999 Constitution, so they are our enemies. Anybody supporting, promoting these parties, and even others that will come, any political party under the 1999 Constitution is enemy to the indigenous people. And the indigenous people are getting it now because more and more people are coming out to speak. There are other comments that would have shown you, but because of time, to show you that the people are getting it. This is what our brother here said. Akin Oshun Tokun. Sorry, I might not pronounce your name. I'm sorry, I apologize. He says, if you replace Tinubu, the person who comes in is going to prove worse than him. So if you keep doing this thing, it's vicious circle. You keep replacing them. They are all the same. But today you have a choice. Freedom is that choice, and it's possible today. Thank you.
Yes, yes, of course, it's possible. Thank you so much, sister, for that. This is a case of somebody that have stolen your spoon. I've told this story over and over again. Somebody came to my house after eating, stole my spoon, and took it home. I didn't even know that the spoon was missing. But it came in a set. So there's a particular set that you can't just get it without the set.
Mm-hmm.
As I went to visit and I saw my spoon, I didn't even ask. It was two of them. I collected the spoons and put it in my bag.
Simple.
Guess how I know it's mine? The person never called and said, since you came to my house, my spoons disappeared. That just it wasn't even ever mentioned. And when I came back, it fitted exactly where it was supposed to be in the first place.
Yes.
This is a reset. This belongs to you. Somebody stole your sovereignty, and we are asking you don't need the politicians' permission to retrieve your sovereignty.
Mm-mm.
You said no election. Okay, hold on, this area. Anybody planning an election will visit the ancestors.
Campaign, not even
I
election.
mean, campaign,
Campaign.
my
Yes.
dear.
Campaign.
Anybody saying anything, anything like that, will go and have a conversation with the ancestors. It's just that simple. We want more for our children. We want a place where our children can thrive. We want them to finish school and get a job. We want them to be in their 30s and get married, not at 50, serving and calling themselves youths. This is what it's all about. It will never come from your politicians. It will never come from your church leaders. It will never even come. You heard your Professor Soludo told you that there are no leaderships anymore in Igbo land. They are all compromised because of the ego ha na-enweta.
Yes.
So because of that, they are willing to sacrifice our children. And as mothers, as sisters, as daughters of the land, we're saying no more. No more are we going to watch these criminal entities, these colonial puppets, continue to disgrace our people, act as if we cannot do right by our people. We're saying end 1999 Constitution so that our people can live life with dignity and get to their destiny. Until next week, brothers and sisters, continue to help us to share and like this information. If you know how to break it down, and go and open up your account, do your own thing. Go in there and share this information with our people. We want to empower our people. This is what it's all about. We want to empower them so they don't feel what is the word I'm trying to use? Like they can't do this. They don't feel defeated.
Incapacitated.
Yeah, you don't feel defeated, you don't feel hopeless, you feel like you can. If you let our people know that their sovereignty was stolen and they have the right to retrieve back their sovereignty, that's all that is needed. So that when they sent from Oka and the Newi comes, it is sent. It's either you disappear here or you're going to have a conversation with our ancestors. Peter Obi will not lead you anywhere. He's getting his court. Obi kwesịrị, Eze kwesịrị, whatever. Ha niile, they are not there for you. It has you. They are there for them.
Adichie, all of them.
Don't let their names, their positions deceive you. We are not here to gain anything from it. We want our people to live life and live life abundantly. Until next week, brothers and sisters, we shall return. Please continue to send your messages, continue to send your texts, your comments, keep them coming. We are in this together and we can win over these criminals running our space.